welcome to
Back to Flour. Good morning, Lena.
Good morning, Arnaud. How are you today?
I'm fine. What do we have today?
I think here we are going to speak about flatbreads.
We're going to speak about flatbread. We don't have a lot of variety of flatbreads, but we can still speak about that.
We have two main categories, so that's good.
Yeah, we have something which is very flat and something which is a little bit more thicker. We're going to discuss a little bit that. So the first thing we see is the color are very different. This one is much more brown. This one is almost white, but we can see some little
dark spots.
Dark spot, yeah.
So what is it due to the dark spots?
Dark spots here are because some breads can make some puffing like that, some pillowing, and then this pillowing can be a little bit more burnt during the baking,
so
and that's something.
To the oven.
Yeah, that's something that makes a very, very nice and appealing. You know, that's a lavash bread. And that's really clear to see these little colors like that.
Very nice. And here we can also see very well the thickness of the product. Of course, we are mentioning flatbread, so thickness is usually small, but still different flatbreads may have different thickness. What will also play a lot on the texture of the product is the stickiness between the different layers. Here we have seen that it unfolds very easily, so that's great if we want to spread something on it. That's perfect, but of course if it's sticking to each other, then it's going to be more difficult. So this is not a desired property.
No, we don't want stickiness. One thing we are looking for is a lot of flexibility, and this one is
it's great.
Clearly really flexible, and we can break it apart like that.
The tearing is great.
Just make one layer. This one is of course a little bit thicker, but the same thing. I mean, we can open it. I mean, it's not really making alveoles like the other ones we can see.
It's very dense.
We can still consider it as a flat bread, even if it's not that flat. It's very dense. Yeah, that's clear.
And here what we see also very clearly is the crumb structure, the crumb texture, which will impact directly the texture, the mouthfeel of the product. So that's very important.
Yeah, but it's very moist product here. If you look at look at this, and this of course will impact a lot the chewiness of the product. I mean, when we're going to eat it, it's going to have a do it for me.
Very nice.
Very different texture. All of that is really participating to the overall quality. We can see that here, this one, for instance, it has a little defect because we have a little hole. But basically, if we take this type of product, I mean,
they are great.
We really have a nice product where we can really put some stuffing in it, and then we can roll it. We can fold it. It's really very nice material to work with, and we need to have a certain consistency like that. One thing that it's very moist. When you can see some little pillows here.
Small ones.
One thing which is very important when we feel it, it's a little bit moist. It's not sticky, as we said, but it's a little bit moist, which also participate to the freshness of this bread. But also we need to take care about the shelf life and the staining of it. Yeah,
usually those products are consumed quite rapidly after making, but still sometimes we want to keep it for, I don't know, a couple of days, maybe a week.
Well, this one is one we found on the supermarket, so it's aimed to be kept for a certain time.
At least a week.
Exactly.
So we don't want the product to stale too fast.
No, definitely. So I imagine that here again, and here we can see that's one part, and certainly this part is where the product is laying on the oven, so it's not baking the same way. I suppose here again the flour properties are very critical. What is really impacting the overall quality of this product?
Well, here this is quite a simple lean formulation, so definitely flour will be very impacting on the quality of the final product. Specifically, proteins are going to be very important to guarantee a good flexibility, good foldability, but also starch properties, and in particular damaged starch and its combined effect with enzymatic activity will be extremely relevant when we speak about color.
Like the dark spots here, the color here.
Or the brownness, the golden color here. So yeah, we want to look out in majority for those three parameters, but we don't want to forget about starch functionality also.
Yeah, it's important, like every baked product. I mean, at a certain point we are going to go from a dough to a baked product, and when we are doing that, the starch is starting acting, and the quality of the starch, and particularly the gelatinization of the starch, will have a real big impact on the properties of the product.
Yeah, no, definitely. And what about the ash content? Is it important?
Yeah, it must be as low as possible, particularly for this type of bread, because you see here, you want to have something very white, exactly, and you don't want to see little spots. So it's really important to have a flour without
very pure,
without ash, without particles. So that's one of the quality attributes which are very important. Again, we were also speaking about staling, and staling we know is very related to another starch property, which is retrogradation. And if we want to keep the product fresh as long as possible, we want to have a starch which is not setting back. Yeah, exactly, too rapidly.
And maybe finally, the lipids in the flour will also be playing a critical role, in particular in the gluten formation.
Exactly. As we said, one of the critical attribute is the gluten, and the gluten, the protein properties, and we know that when we have some lipid, it's also help the protein flowing more easily, so that's definitely participate to the overall quality of the product. So
what do you think for maybe this kind of flatbread or this one? Do we need the same type of flour?
Maybe not, but the best way is really to test the flour which are working, and then after to put numbers on this flour instead of trying to predict, which is not really working.
No, I completely agree.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lena. Lena, if you want to know more about flatbread, do you know you can visit our website?
Oh, really?